Kailangan talaga system yung baguhin sa K-pop. And kasi ang ganda ng example ng BTS kasi they're such a big group and they were able to stand up for something like this. So parang sana mag-take inspiration yung ibang mga groups that they too can rest. And at the same time, siguro pledge din yun sa mga fans. Kasi makakatulong din, like yung ARMY, ang laki-laki niya, di ba? And sobrang powerful niya. Parang ang daming mga donations na nagre-run dahil sa kanila.
Yeah,
Yung kaya nila talagang mag-mobilize ng mga
Yeah,
tao.
exactly,
So,
oo.
I feel like they should also influence other stands, other groups na to also parang parang luwagan muna yung demands from
Yeah, oo.
the groups that they're standing na parang tao rin tong mga to.
Exactly.
And alam mo yun, parang maging humane lang din
Yeah,
as fans. Kasi I think yung big demand din, hindi lang sa management nang gagaling, but also the fans. We can sometimes be too demanding, too pressuring for them. So, ayun, parang balance lang din naman.
First of all, it's because as a person, kuripot talaga ako by nature. And when I got into K-pop, I was in high school. So I didn't really have the funds to spend on merchandise. And also, at that time, I was thinking to myself, I don't want to spend on things na on a daily basis, if we're talking realistically, I won't be able to use naman. So I think the interesting thing was when I got into it, hindi pa uso yung photo card culture as much as it is now. And I think it's because naging pandemic thing nga siya. It's really when it started evolving into the business. Yes, it's a business. The business it is today. But I don't buy merchandise because I if if I'm being realistic with myself, parang I don't need I really don't listen to albums naman when you buy it. Like you don't buy it for the CD. So if I can stream their music online, that's good enough for me or through music videos, stuff like that. So I guess I just choose to show my support in a different way. And for me, like personally as a fan, I'm content with that na. Like I'm good supporting my idols that way. So I've never felt the pressure naman to spend on merchandise. I guess the most I've spent lang is when I watch concerts because I'm okay with spending for concerts because it's an experience and it gives me what I want to get from my group, which is I'm primarily there for the music naman talaga. So getting to experience that live is worth the purchase for me. But aside from that, no, as a person, hindi lang talaga ako ganun fan.
When it comes to hunting their groups, sobrang makikita mo yung difference na parang sometimes their boy groups have different comebacks. Parang ilang comebacks every year. Tapos minsan for the fans, joke time, naging running joke na siya na parang nasan yung Red Velvet? Kasi walang masyadong nangyayari. Na parang kaya naman yung ibang groups na kapag world tour, concert tour, solo ganito, solo ganyan, pero hindi mo siya makakita sa girl groups. In fact, when it comes to merchandises pa lang, parang yung girl groups ng SM Entertainment, ang tagal before sila nagkaroon ng light stick, ng fandom name, ng fandom color, as compared to dun sa mga nauna pang boy groups nila, nagkaroon na agad ng mga ganong stuff. Which I think some fans might think na parang that's bare minimum. Ay parang lang siya na parang ang liit namang bagay nan. Pero that's the bare minimum that the agencies could do for their talent. So bakit hindi siya magawang ayusin? Also, as I've mentioned kanina, I feel like it looks like na mas madaming male idols ang may freedom and control when it comes to like producing or being involved to their music production. In fact, based sa COMCA, yung Copyright Association nila, based sa this nila like January 2022 ata. Sila kasi nagbibigay ng right, ay parang nililistan nila yung mga artists na may rights under their name, producing, writing rights under their name. Tapos, based dun sa list na yon, out of the top 100, around 15 to 20 lang yung female idols. So it just shows na mas marami talaga yung male idols na mas involved when it comes to producing, writing their music. Also, yun, I feel like kasi agencies don't think na mas profitable or mas lucrative yung boy groups as compared to girl groups. Kasi ayun, when it comes to merchandises, their album releases, medyo nililimitahan yung girl groups. In fact, I remember twice, yung K-pop group Twice, sila yung first foreign female idol na parang nag-make history na may sold out concert sa Japan's Tokyo Dome. Before them, ang dami ng K-pop male acts na nagpe-perform doon. To think na inabot tayo 2022 para magkaroon ng isang female idol female idol group na magkaroon ng concert for that one. Di ba parang it just goes to show na hindi masyadong nag-risk yung mga agencies to invest on concerts like that. Kung based naman sa success ng Twice, sa other girl groups, di ba? Parang if they only risk or subukan lang nila. I feel like ang dami rin naman kasi supporters talaga ng female idol groups. So either way, they would always generate income rin naman.
There's a culture of perfectionism in Korea, as we can see, like K-pop idols, groups, models, beauty. And I think the idea of perfectionism on its own is detrimental to any human being, Korean or not. And when it's so rampant in the K-pop industry, and to apply that pressure on a child we can't expect to be fully aware na or like actualized, of course. So they need guidance. I think anyone, even us adults, we always need guidance. So children need someone to tell them how to, in case they need mental help, or even like the pressures. Like I don't know if their managers, like syempre, as you mentioned, their kids contracts. So of course that's held. That's, how do you say that? The bosses, the managers are in charge of that. Like, how are we so sure that they have the best interests of these children at heart? Like, at the end of the day, I think money is really the end goal. I think, is it fair to say? And as mentioned by Marga, like the reinforcements of the positive reinforcements of the industry are, fame, how many tweets, if you're viral, chart topping songs, how much money is raked in during your debut. And these are good things to aim for, but at the end of the day, is that really all you're aiming for? And if that's like the only goal in your life every day, like I gotta earn money, blah blah blah, I gotta rake in the hits, I think that would be detrimental to anyone when your self-worth is attached to these material things. So that's a risk I see psychologically as well to these young K-pop stars.
First of all, it's expensive and
Okay.
it's not really accessible to all fans. Concert tickets alone are already pricey, but sometimes fans who are not living in Metro Manila have to consider additional expenses such as flights and accommodation. Basically, yun yung reason kung bakit ang tagal kong bago nag K-pop concert, kasi I was from Bicol. So parang bukod sa concert tickets, minsan iisipin ko pa, saan kami magsistay ni na mama? Kasi syempre, di pa ako legal age noon. So dapat parang it's a whole family affair pa siya kung itutuloy ko yung pagpunta ng concerts. Tapos sometimes, given the demand and popularity of K-pop, it's just frustrating how sometimes others tend to exploit it. Grabe yung issues when it comes to scalpers and scammers when it comes to reselling of tickets. Lately, ang daming instances na parang may mga tickets raw na binibenta for a higher, double, triple the original price. Just because like fans are willing to pay for the whole experience, it doesn't mean that you have to like, diba, parang aabusuhin mo na. Tapos yung scalping talaga sobrang nakaka-frustrate siya kasi sometimes the tickets they're selling is parang yung date of transaction niya was outside the selling dates for the public. Tapos bukod sa doble na nga yung presyo niya. So sometimes it makes you wonder, how were these transactions possible?
Yeah.
Parang may connections pa sila. may under the table na communication ba. And it's just frustrating kasi sometimes when fans raise these concerns, we're often labeled as like demanding or ungrateful na, "Uy, dinala na nga namin yung K-pop group na gusto nyo, tapos ang dami nyo pang sinasabi na agad." Parang, we have the right to demand, to question these things. We're paying for the whole experience. Tapos at the end of the day, as fans, we all just want like a good show, especially that's something that our idols worked hard for. So parang nakakabastos lang siya na parang, 'di ba? Parang hindi na nga siya na parang hindi nabibigyan ng access lahat ng fans for a good concert experience. Ganun.
Even though we're seeing this like boom in I don't even want to say, I don't know if we can say acceptance nga, like just interest for me right now, like interest in other forms of media that's not Western. Hindi ko pa rin masabi if it's eventually going to lead to the meshing, the complete meshing of those two divides na like wala nang Western, wala nang non-Western. Yun nga it's Western and non-Western, not even like Asian or something. It's always those two categories lang na we're looking at. And for as long as these wins are in a way seen as like exceptional, kasi nga, wow, it's so out of the ordinary for this to happen. Diba yun nga, it's out of the ordinary, like that concept. So like, this is also why I'm kind of iffy with Parasite winning the Oscars. Kasi parang, it broke barriers. But then, Bong Joon-ho has been making these films for such a long time na sakto lang talaga na at that time, 2020, we were all at home and then yun nga, usong-uso na yung diversity token. So, the Oscars were like, oh, this is a good movie. And like, theme-wise, we can, accept it. But then even theme-wise nga, Parasite isn't the pinnacle of like Bong Joon-ho's symbolism. Nope.
Symbolism.
Symbolism, there we go. Symbolism. Kasi like, yung message ng Parasite, the guy just stayed poor. He just was stuck in the basement.
Yeah.
And Bong Joon-ho has many more other films na mas poignant and mas like hard-hitting yung messages. Especially if you're going along that theme na parang, class divide, ganyan. So, the fact na yun yung nanalo sa Oscars, parang, okay. Parang questionable, diba? So, ayun. And even like with seeing BTS and Blackpink, parang it's also interesting to check like who are these artists who are breaking these barriers na parang visuals wise still very Eurocentric features, figure wise like katawan ganyan, and even the recent music na pumapatok in that market still is assimilating with a certain market na they want to penetrate. So yes, they represent Korea or like Asian artists trying to break into that industry. But then, why are we trying so hard also to break into that industry when we're already doing very well naman in our respective So like, I'm still very torn on it, honestly. Hindi ko pa rin alam kung ano yung final piece ko on it. But that's just one side na I'm always very cautious about.